Hello for day 18. Who knew? Who knew? Day 18 of 21 days to transform your life through your passion, purpose, and power. Yes, it's all about feminine power, standing in your own power, your own truth, being authentically, beautifully, wonderfully you, so that you can live your highest expression, your highest potential. It's just beautiful, just like you, super beautiful, super powerful, and we all need to be talking more about this. The world will be a better place, better for our own health, wealth, and happiness, but that cascades to everyone around us, society, community, humanity, and the planet would be better off if more of us, more women, were authentically themselves, living a life in their passion, purpose, and power. So yes, I'm going to hold on to that big vision of humanity and the planet being better off, but I'm also going to hold space for you, because you, my darling, are worth it. Your dreams are worth it. You are worthy of your dreams. So let's talk about how you can do more of that. Hello, hello, hello. If you haven't joined for any of the previous videos, lovely to have you here. My name is Queen Rook. I am a celestial coach, and I got described the other day as a leader of feminine empowerment. You know what? Oh, I'm going to take that. Yes, yes, I'm going to take that. So, all about how you are even more beautifully you. The quote from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland: "Be more you." The world needs you. It needs you to make your dent. So let's make that happen. So yes, 21 days, all about different things that you can do. I've gone live for about 15 to 20 minutes. Harnessing everything about soul and spirit, energy, energetics, using celestial placements. We've had some stunning placements since I started, not least with a Mercury retrograde, the 1st of 2024. Going into Aries, first sign of the zodiac. Wonderful new beginnings, the most auspicious new eclipse, new moon total eclipse on Monday of this week. Some interesting placements yesterday. We've got more of that happening today. I'll touch on that a little bit. And just different things that you can do that all cost absolutely nothing. Just different ways of becoming you, being more you, that empowerment, how you stand in your truth, stand in your power, and don't take playing small and being safe in terms of your dreams and aspirations lightly. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not good for you. So today I'm going to talk about creativity. And I'm talking about that because I've had two different, there's inspiration, the universe talking to me. I've seen different things recently related to this theme. And I spoke about it this morning on my free online event that I'm running in my private group on Facebook, Stars and Shadows, which is all about using stars and energy and understanding the shadows and of our subconscious, what we keep hidden, how that stops us from shining our brightest. But equally, you can't have shining without darkness, because you need the contrast. But if you're interested in joining, you can still watch all of those videos. They're a little bit longer. They're an hour thereabouts, and there's journals, etc., to accompany what we've been doing online. That's in my group, and there's a link to join that in the description or feed of where you are watching this. So hello Facebook and hello YouTube. Lovely to have you here with me wherever you are watching from. So today I'm talking about creativity, and I do have to say that it's got nothing, it's not about how well you can draw, sing, dance, etc. Creativity's got a bit of a It's got a bit of reputation. Just using that word can make people kind of recoil. Um, and I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to feel that kind of pressure. This isn't the message I'm talking about. It touches on some of those things, but without judgment. And I'll explain. I'll explain more about that in a minute. So it's about creativity being the embodiment of feminine energy, and feminine energy is creation. It is life force. It is chaos. It isn't linear. It is that kind of emergence and iterative kind of nature. And something coming from what you can't see, quite literally something coming off the page, or something, an idea, or something growing from the ground. So that is in its essence feminine energy. Compare that and contrast it to masculine energy, of which this isn't gender specific. This is about, we all have all of this. Society has predetermined that we think a masculine energy is a route to success. So I have to share it for that reason alone, that if you are looking to be more successful in your career, in your business, and whatever you're doing, you will have been exposed permanently to a concept, to a vibe, to an aspiration that you have to have more of masculine energy to be more successful. And that is not true. It's about finding your way, and you need a bit of both, and you need to be able to discern when one is going to be better than the other. And we're going to be naturally better at one of these things than the other, like for everything. So just to say there is only one way to success, it's got to be false in of itself. So even if even just that little nugget is empowering to you, then awesome. But what I wanted to say was, the masculine energy is more kind of closure, fix, get done, move on. It is linear. As I say, there isn't, without judgment, they can't, they're not right or wrong. We've kind of been conditioned to accept one way is better than the other, and that is not the case. So I'm just giving you the alternative, and we're just shining a light on the fact that there is an alternative, feminine. And that feminine energy, if you haven't expressed enough of it, then by all means take that empowerment and do more of it. And if not, try it on for size and see where that takes you. But my point is that it is that creativity piece. And I'm much like we talked about in the group today. If you were to, you can visualize this. It is a piece of paper. You put some water on it, and then you get a watercolor paint. And you put a stroke across, and something appears that wasn't there before. Now, just by that very physical example, you'll know that you can't be 100% sure how that is going to appear when you're going through the actual physical motions. You have an intent, you have an indication, you have some kind of awareness of how it's likely to be, but you can't be, it's not specific, it's not preordained, it's not predetermined exactly what it's going to look like by nature of that particular example I'm using. A little bit different than if you're following a pencil across a ruler. That would be, you'd expect that to be straight unless something jogs your arm kind of thing. So that's kind of the difference between energetically speaking, feminine and masculine energy. And therefore you can see the creativity, you can see the intent behind what's going to happen, and you can feel the difference with those two examples that I've given you. So how does this relate to you stepping into your highest expression of yourself? Well, like I said, it is that first and foremost, it's that there are more than one way. There is more than one way of doing things, achieving things, your approach. So that is enabling for a start. And then secondly, it is that to sort of take a step further with the watercolor example I give you, is that there is an element of wonder and awe, and it's like, wow, that's what as it builds up, becomes just one stroke, becomes many, becomes something that you can recognize, connect with, engage with. And something is now created that wasn't there before. And there is that connection to the all of everything in that, because it's like, wow, did I do that? Is something we would say. It's like, wow, I'm glad that turned out like that. And the other thing, of course, is that when you are just putting a line stroke on a piece of paper, there isn't a right or wrong. That's empowering. And then secondly, it's you don't know. There's kind of like there is being a heldness of unknowing, because you can't guarantee how that's going to be. It's a bit like, anything that's growing, you can't guarantee exactly, you know, what's going to come up, what's going to flower, the exact timing of it. If you put a mix of seeds in, then you have no idea exact. You don't know until they're there what's going to come up, and from that you still don't know what they're going to look like exactly. So there is this unknown element, and that's very much again feminine energy, and it's getting comfortable with that. So if you are stuck, you've got this aspiration, you're capable of more, but it's just like constantly swimming against the tide. It's kind of just to kind of surrender to that, the creation piece, and go with the flow. Let it evolve. It is that life force energy, which I find that immensely empowering, because it's not all on you. There isn't a right or wrong. There isn't a formula. There isn't anything. There's no should in any of it, which is huge, isn't it? And I guess that I wanted to, I guess what's also interesting to me, I'm going to share it, is the root of the word, because you would have seen, if you've watched any of the other videos, I do love my words. I do love understanding and tuning into people's choice of words, meanings, how they overlay, how they the play with them, etc. I just love it. I thought I'd give you the root of creativity, which is really interesting. So it starts with Latin, which is to make. Okay, so that makes sense. We can understand that. But actually, what's also interesting, I found, was that there's even Sanskrit root for creativity, to make a car, which is it shows how important that word is. How old it is, the root of it. Topic for another day, no doubt. But then there's also Greek, which is about fulfilling, which is about putting part of your soul into something that you're doing. And I just find that magical, so that creation piece, that life force energy, that feminine power is wrapped up in those sentiments. And I just think it's a good reminder for you standing in your power, your truth, and being in the highest expression of you through embodying your feminine energy. So absolutely practicing something creative, so whether that is art, whether that is movement, whether that is craft, literally creating something that wasn't there before, writing, it is a way of connecting to your soul, and of course that kind of connection to the all of everything. And from that, you're always going to be more aligned. So you see, there's a very, very tangible, very masculine output from what I'm talking about here, is that I'm talking about something quite ethereal, quite intangible, pick and choose what you want to do, literally just see what comes up, kind of thing. The physical activity I'm talking about is easy for any one of us to do. It doesn't cost anything. Pen and paper, whatever it is that you do, and then, but just through that embodiment, just by being in that space, doing that thing, you are going to automatically connect deeper to your soul and the all of everything, and straight away that's then going to be greater alignment, that is putting you closer to your North Star and traveling on your soul path, which is everything about these 21 days. So kooky, I know it starts off kooky, doesn't it? But it always comes back to where we want it to be, which is about how it's empowering you to be more beautifully you, trying something new, doing something different, perhaps, different practices to embody who you are, your true you, and yeah, and anything that unravels constraints and constructs and expectations that we've been forced and been forced on us is always going to be powerful by its very nature. So I'm all for that. And so that was and I guess the next part with creativity is that, I do like to span realms. And when I'm working with businesses and corporates and leaders in business, I don't very often not enough talk about feminine power. But the point of creativity and seeing a different perspective, thinking differently, in the workplace, unless the industry is creative, then creativity is a hard gig to sell to anyone in business outside of the creative industry. But it's a determinant for success. It's a determinant for that higher level, that next level performance. So we can kind of extrapolate that concept to you and your ultimate highest expression as well. And it's that kind of freedom that comes from experimentation or doing something new, and from that kind of understanding of the word creativity. And there is innovation would feed through to that. And in a business kind of context, we probably talk about disruption as well. And I don't want to go down that route, but you can see how we can be in touching distance of different realms here, and they do come together. And there's things to take from each of these. And if you are in business, if you are in a leadership position, if you're looking for next level performance for yourself and for your team, actually harnessing some feminine power, some feminine energy, whether you describe it as that at your board meeting, I'll leave it to you in your best judgment. But in terms of essence and embodying it, creativity is about it. Well, we know it's a differentiator for performance. It is absolutely going to give you that opportunity to see new ideas, to have a different perspective, and then the fruits of that will be a potentially different solution. And and from that, it literally is, you don't have to go all in on getting out the watercolors, but it's just a question to yourself about, when was the last time you thought differently about something? That's very cognitive. It's perfect for Mercury retrograde, and it's perfect for the fact that Sun in Aries is conjunct with Mars in Aries today. So we've got that kind of potential tension on what it is that we want to do, what is it that we're asserting for ourselves. It is in the realm of cognition and intelligence and thinking. Retrograde, it's like, well, can we revisit that? Can we look at something different? What have we missed? And that's a great cue. And all of those elements are ways of which that you can help yourself to step into your higher self. And whether that is for you or whether you are looking after a team in the workplace as well, you can have a smorgasbord there of inspiration. But it all comes back to that undeniably creativity is a feminine energy. It is life force energy. Being more in touch with that is going to help you reach your highest expression, your North Star, you traveling towards that. And we can see it in other places, how creativity is so important to our ultimate success. So you can, it can be cloaked in different things. Thinking about something differently, having a new perspective, seeing something create, something appear, something iterate, not being guarded about having another look, going again, revisiting something, especially at this point in time. Really, really powerful for your own empowerment, your own ascension to your aspirations. And if you're guiding other people to do that, then that also follows through. So that is what I was going to share with you today. we went quite deep and we went quite broad. I wasn't expecting necessarily to do that, but that is the wonder of channeling some inspiration. It's been a blast. Have a super rest of the day, and I shall see you tomorrow for day 19. Take care of you.